What's going on, guys? It's TK and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about and reviewing Highguard. Now, if you don't know what Highguard is, it is a game that released just over a week last week on the 26th of January as I'm recording this video, and it is the game that has lost 90% of its player base since launch. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the game Highguard is a PvP sort of shooter. It is made by Wildlight Entertainment. It's the same people that made Titanfall and Apex Legends, like the ex-devs. They're not actually Respawn, but more of a spin-off. People left Respawn and now they're working on this game type thing. So yeah, I've been playing it. I've actually seen a lot of hate, like I said, on this game. I've actually, I've been enjoying it. It's been pretty okay. It's decent, not the best, not the worst, but this is going to be a review of the game. So typical Next Spence fashion, I'm just going to do a pros and cons list like I normally do. So yeah, let's just jump into the list. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the mounts ideas. So having different mounts like the bear, the horse, the griffin, and the panther is such a cool idea. The map is so big, so being able to get around it in such a unique way, like a mount, it's actually pretty cool for a FPS game. I just thought that was a really cool idea. An innovative way to get around the map. The movement is pretty good too, but the mounts, especially like getting around the map, I thought that was a cool idea. The fact that they die when you shoot them, and you can get them back after a certain cooldown period. I thought that was a really unique idea. So yeah, that's one pro. The next thing I want to talk about is the game mode. Now, the game mode I thought was really cool. I'm a big fan of Search and Destroy, how it's played. Having 3 different cores that you can attack at a base and, defuse and defend and stuff like that. Defending from different points with your different abilities and stuff like that. Setting up a perimeter for Search and Destroy really works well with this game. A big fan of the S&D type of, playstyle type game mode. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. It'd be interesting to see if they added new game modes, but a big fan of this one. So yeah, another pro. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the abilities and the wardens. I've only used a few. I think I've used 3. 3, I'm pretty sure. But I have looked at the rest of them, like their abilities and descriptions and stuff. And from the looks of it, their abilities seem pretty cool, pretty unique. I really like how they work on certain spawn places on the map, and it gives you recommendations for where you spawn based on your character. Thought that was really cool. I'm just a big fan of specialists in games, all the way from Black Ops 3 and how they worked. But yeah, I really enjoy the wardens and their abilities, so I think that's a very good addition to the game. And another thing I want to talk about in this game is sniping. Sniping feels amazing. If you don't have a sniper for this big of a map, you're going to always be at a loss. You always need a sniper on you. It's so fun to use. It feels amazing when using it. Scopes in, fine. It feels so good when you get a kill. Snipers are a big part of this game, and if you don't have one, you're pretty much at a loss. Okay, so another 2 pros with this game after release is the fact that they have adapted. And from the initial 3v3 that it launched with, people were complaining, and they added the 5v5. That was a good move by their part, like by their team and shit, to adapt, give people what they want. So them adding that was really good. Also, with the addition of cosmetics and quests that you can do, there's stuff to do in the game. The skins look really good. The skins for your mounts look really good. You get weapon charms. The cosmetics look really cool. So just adding those things keeps a game, like just not this game in particular, but just any game, just feeling like there's something to grind for. Not just like X Defiant, how that was off like launch. It was pretty bad. Like there was nothing to really aim for. So having skins and cosmetics and a way to get them is really good for a game. Okay, now we're moving on to the last pro, maybe the biggest pro of them all. This game is free. Highguard is completely free for anyone who wants to play it. So rather than judging it by what other YouTubers say, just play it for yourself. It's free. I hate when people also shit talk a game when, you know, they expect it to be on the same level as like any, you know, Call of Duty or any like big name game that comes out.
I hate you. I've always hated you.
When this game is free, it fulfills what it needs to. It's accessible for people that can't afford big games like that. And yeah, it's just free. That's a massive pro. So, like, just accept what it is. Okay, so now we move on to the con section of the video. Why isn't anyone playing this game? Why did everyone jump off of it? So the first con I have is the optimization and the visuals. That is probably the first con that you're going to realize when you play this game. It doesn't look great. There are a few visual glitches, like especially when you're aiming down the sight for the first time. The reticle will be a bit blurry. What you see will be a bit blurry. I'm not going to, you know, sit here and say I love this game. It does have its issues, and one of the big ones is the optimization and the visuals. Another big one is the also lack of players. With the optimization and visual problems, a lot of people have jumped off this game, and for anyone that wants to try it out and wants to have a good time playing it, it's going to be hard to find players. They've added 5v5 now, so I think everyone's playing that rather than 3v3. So if you're trying to look for a game, I recommend that. But yeah, lack of players is also another con. But yeah, everyone's just jumping on the bandwagon, I guess, and just, you know, not playing the game. But yeah, first two cons out of the way. I thought I would quickly mention as well, just keeping in all fairness and, you know, judging the game, try to be as unbiased as, you know, possible. I will say, it's only happened once, and I don't think I have the actual footage of it happening, but there was a time where I kind of was inside of my base. I was getting raided, and I could walk out of the wall. It wasn't an actual solid wall. I could actually just walk out of it. So, you know, a few bugs like that are probably around the map. You're probably going to find them. So, you know, another small con. So yeah, I thought I would just mention that. Okay, and another con that I wanted to talk about was the marketing. This game is very, you know, it has low marketization, if that's even a fucking word, I don't know. But I didn't know this game existed. I didn't even know it was out. Hadn't seen anything on it. My mate just told me we should get it and try it, so I did. Yeah, it needs to be marketed better. Any game that drops like this, a lot of people don't know it exists. And now, when they do know it exists, the only thing they're seeing is negative. So they did a pretty bad job at marketing it. I just want to say that. Also, another con is also the gunplay. Like I said, sniping is very good. I really enjoy it, but it's getting to a point where it's becoming the whole game. It feels like there's like 2 guns that are good and the rest aren't. Sniping is just like so OP compared to every other gun. The gunplay isn't balanced. Maybe just some tinkering with some certain guns can change everything. I don't know. You know, there's rarities and stuff too, so you got to account for that. But the gunplay didn't feel as balanced as I'd like it to be. Especially sniping, you know, and red guns, balancing those. But yeah, 2 cons that bring the game down and really let the game down. Alright, so the last 2 cons that I have written down are the map is very large, especially considering it started with 3v3. There was a lot of complaints about that. I know I touched on this earlier in the video. They did bring out 5v5, but the only problem with that is when you play 3v3, the map does feel too big. And then with 5v5, it feels like there's not enough loot. That could just be a me thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places. But every time I find a chest, it's always looted. I know you can buy stuff and, you know, upgrade your stuff you have and, you know, stuff like that. But it just feels like there's not enough loot for 5 people. I know rank's coming soon, so it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, it just feels like some things need to be touched, maybe more chests or 4v4 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a dev, again, this is just my opinion. Also, probably another big con I want to finish on is, you know, judging by everything I've said, you probably figured this out already, but they did have a bad launch. And I don't know if they can come back from that. I feel like this game has been buried too much by negative publicity that it might be too hard for them to come back and make this game a viable option for gamers. So we'll see. But them having a bad launch is a really big con as well. They've kind of scuffed themselves here, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, pretty much all the cons I have on this game so far. Alright, so with all the pros and the cons out of the way, my final opinion on Highguard is it's decent. Do I think it deserved to lose 90% of its player base in like under 24 hours? Absolutely not. I feel like this game is free, you know, it does what it's meant to do. It's not as bad as people are making it seem. I don't know why everyone's just hating on it for, you know, apparently no reason. You know, obviously it has its, you know, downsides, but it's not a terrible game. It's not unplayable like that game the day before was that I made a video on that you guys should go and check out. It's not that game, so I don't understand why people are hating on it so hard. You know, if I was the devs, I don't know what I would do. Maybe, you know, if things don't pick up in the next few weeks, maybe just take your game off the store, take the servers down, work on it a bit, maybe come back with a brand new release. I don't know. But yeah, the game's not terrible. And before you listen to me, you know, even though I'm making this video, before you listen to me or anyone else on the internet that's telling you this game is shit or good or whatever, just try it for yourself. Form your own opinion. Don't just be a mindless robot like everyone is these days. At this rate, I don't think anyone's going to like GTA 6 the way people are going on. But, yeah. That's my review. It's not terrible. Doesn't deserve the hate. So yeah, that's me. If you guys enjoyed this video, as always, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be next week, like normal. But yeah, go try this game. Give it a try. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Maybe you disagree with me completely. Maybe you agree with me. But yeah, this video has been going on for way too long. So goodbye. And yeah, see ya.